The most expensive mistake you can make buying a used car isn't overpaying by a few $1,000s. It's missing the subtle signs that turn a good deal into a money pit that drains your savings for years. 3 in 5 used car buyers end up with costly hidden problems. You're about to see 20 deception techniques that cost buyers millions annually. These aren't obvious scams. They're calculated cover-ups designed to hide flood damage, rolled back odometers, and structural rot in seconds. Each technique targets a specific weakness in how buyers inspect vehicles. The first one happens in a place most people never think to look. That jet black, perfectly smooth undercarriage you're admiring isn't a sign of meticulous care. It's the most dangerous deception in used car sales. When sellers spray fresh undercoating on a vehicle's underbelly, they're not protecting anything. They're hiding hidden frame rot that could cost you everything. Scammers know buyers rarely crawl under cars. They exploit this by applying thick, glossy coatings over rust holes, cracked welds, and frame repairs that should have totaled the vehicle. The coating creates a false impression of protection and maintenance. What you're actually seeing is an expensive bandage over terminal damage. Get under that car with a flashlight and screwdriver. Tap the frame rails hard, especially around weld points and pinch seams. Use the screwdriver tip to probe for flaking metal beneath the coating. Fresh coating should feel solid underneath. If you hear hollow sounds or feel soft spots, the metal is rotting from the inside out. Check for areas where the coating looks too thick or uneven. These spots hide the worst damage. Undercoating seals moisture, accelerating hidden rust that spreads invisibly beneath the surface. You won't discover the extent of damage until sections of the frame start crumbling months later. Frame repairs can cost $15,000 or more. Most insurance companies total vehicles with significant frame damage. That perfect coating isn't protection. It's proof someone spent money hiding problems instead of fixing them. But frame damage isn't the only secret sellers work overtime to conceal. Professional paint jobs leave fingerprints that reveal every collision secret sellers desperately want buried. Even the most expensive bodywork creates subtle inconsistencies that trained eyes can spot instantly. Sellers pick dim lighting to mask mismatches, so you need to see the car in bright sunlight. Examine each panel from multiple angles in natural daylight. Move around the car slowly, watching how light reflects off each surface. Color variations become obvious when you compare adjacent panels. Texture differences show up as uneven reflections that indicate hasty repair work. A paint thickness gauge reveals the most damaging secrets. Factory paint measures about 80 to 120 microns. Readings above 200 microns indicate body filler underneath. When one door measures 300 microns, while others read 100, you've found collision damage masked by thick filler layers. Check panel gaps between doors, hood, and trunk. Uneven spacing means frame damage that no amount of paint can fix. Misaligned panels indicate structural compromise that affects crash safety. That flawless-looking paint job often covers the cheapest, most dangerous repairs possible. Professional appearance doesn't guarantee professional work underneath. Uneven gaps and thick paint aren't cosmetic, they're collision evidence. But sellers don't stop at hiding bodywork. They'll spend serious money on other deceptions that seem like generous upgrades. Brand new tires on a used car should trigger immediate suspicion, not relief. Fresh rubber means the seller invested hundreds of dollars to hide something expensive. They're not being generous, they're covering their tracks before you discover what's wrong. Sellers time tire replacement strategically. Right before listing the car, they mount new tires to eliminate evidence of alignment problems, suspension damage, or frame issues. The investment pays off when buyers see shiny treads and assume the car was maintained properly. Check the old tires if they're still available. Run your hand across each tread surface and look for dips, waves, or edge wear, signs of alignment, suspension, or frame damage. These patterns reveal suspension components that are failing or already failed. Cupping happens when shocks and struts wear out, allowing the tire to bounce inconsistently against the road. Scalloping indicates more severe suspension damage or worn ball joints. Edge wear shows the wheels aren't properly aligned, often due to bent suspension arms or frame damage. Suspension repairs cost $3,000 to $5,000. Frame straightening can exceed the car's value. When sellers replace tires instead of fixing underlying issues, they're transferring massive repair bills directly to you. But mechanical deception isn't limited to what you can see and feel. Sometimes the most dangerous cover-ups assault your senses in ways designed to fool you completely. That overwhelming pine or vanilla scent hitting you when the doors open isn't hospitality. Flood-damaged cars get cleaned, perfumed, and shipped hundreds of miles from disaster zones where buyers can't connect the dots. Sellers know water damage leaves behind persistent odors that scream danger, so they mask everything with overpowering fresheners. The stronger the artificial scent, the worse the hidden problems underneath. Turn off the air conditioning and breathe deeply through your nose. Check the trunk area, where carpets trap moisture for months. Feel under seats for dampness that deodorizers can't eliminate. A musty smell, or mildew odor, means mold is growing somewhere inside the vehicle. Scents can't hide visual evidence of water exposure. Check the fuse box for green corrosion on metal contacts. Look at the headlights from the inside for fogging that water leaves behind. Examine carpet edges and door panels for rust stains that cleaning can't remove. Wiring that looks crusty or greenish shows corrosion damage. Flood cars create electrical nightmares that surface months after purchase. Short circuits appear randomly. Sensors fail without warning. Dashboard lights activate mysteriously. One damaged module triggers cascading failures throughout the system. Expect to spend thousands chasing electrical gremlins that multiply faster than you can fix them. If it still smells musty after airing out, walk away. Water damage costs thousands. But water damage isn't the only identity crisis these vehicles hide. Thousands of cars on the market right now have stolen identities hidden in plain sight. The criminals who put them there count on buyers never checking beyond the obvious VIN location on the dashboard. They're gambling with your financial future, and most buyers hand them easy wins. Checking multiple VIN locations instantly exposes criminal activity that costs buyers everything. Every legitimate vehicle has matching 17-character codes in 3 places: dashboard, driver door jamb, and engine bay. These numbers should be identical. When they don't match, you've found fraud. Criminal operations build cloned cars from wrecked vehicles and give them stolen identities to appear legitimate. The cloned VIN erases the car's true history, making totaled or flood-damaged vehicles look clean. Buying a vehicle with tampered VINs means police can impound the car and you lose all your money. You lose every dollar invested with zero legal recourse. Insurance companies refuse claims on vehicles with fraudulent identification. VIN fraud makes you an unwitting accomplice to vehicle theft. Law enforcement treats buyers as potential criminals until proven otherwise. That clean-looking title becomes evidence in a criminal investigation where you're the prime suspect. But VIN tampering isn't the only numbers game sellers play to deceive buyers. The next manipulation happens with technology so advanced that traditional detection methods no longer work. Digital rollback tools wipe mileage clean in seconds, leaving no scratch evidence. The technology has become so sophisticated that traditional signs of tampering no longer exist. Gone are the days when misaligned numbers or scratched plastic revealed fraud. Digital manipulation leaves zero visible traces on the dashboard display. Physical inspection reveals what the odometer hides. Check the driver's seat for excessive wear that contradicts low mileage claims. Run your fingers across the steering wheel surface, feeling for smooth spots where hands wore away the texture. Examine brake and gas pedals for worn rubber or metal showing through. If they don't match the claimed mileage, alarm bells should ring. Calculate expected mileage using simple math. Average cars accumulate 12,000 miles annually. A 10-year-old vehicle showing 30,000 miles should trigger immediate suspicion. The numbers don't match reality for normal driving patterns. Service records and online databases expose mileage fraud instantly. Previous oil change stickers show higher readings than current odometer displays. Carfax reports reveal mileage inconsistencies over time. Registration records track annual mileage submissions that contradict seller claims. Technology makes odometer fraud easier than ever, but physical evidence still reveals the truth. Your hands and eyes catch what digital tools can't fake. Those wear patterns tell the real story, but fraudulent mileage isn't the only deception hiding in the paperwork. Basic desktop tools let sellers create convincing fake maintenance records that fool even careful buyers. Desktop publishing programs produce professional-looking invoices with authentic letterheads and service descriptions. The forgeries look legitimate at first glance, complete with dates, parts numbers, and service center logos. Distinguishing real records from clever fakes requires detective work. Call the shop on the invoice to confirm service using the vehicle identification number. Check letterheads for accurate addresses and phone numbers. Examine the chronological flow of services to ensure dates make logical sense. Fake records reveal themselves through perfectly even service dates and generic descriptions. Oil changes every 3,000 miles exactly indicate fabrication. Vague terms like routine maintenance or inspection completed lack the specific detail real shops provide. Missing technician signatures and service advisor names suggest homemade documentation. Legitimate service history shows natural variation reflecting real-world maintenance needs. Oil changes happen at different intervals based on driving conditions. Repair descriptions include specific part numbers and labor details. Authentic records mention unexpected discoveries during routine services. Fake maintenance records hide the most expensive neglect possible. Sellers create false documentation to mask years of deferred maintenance that could cost thousands in immediate repairs once you own the vehicle. But paperwork fraud isn't the only life-threatening deception sellers use to close deals. Sellers disable airbag warning lights to hide missing or fake safety systems that could kill you in a crash. They disconnect the warning system or tape over the light, turning what looks like a clean safety record into a death trap waiting to happen. Compromised airbag systems turn minor accidents into fatal collisions. Without functioning airbags, your head hits the steering wheel at full impact speed. The dashboard becomes a concrete wall. Side impacts crush your torso without protection. These aren't fender benders anymore, they're potential fatalities. Watch the warning light sequence when you start the engine. The airbag light should flash on start and then go out. If it never appears, that's a red flag. A light that stays illuminated indicates system problems. No light at all often means someone disabled the warning circuit entirely. Examine airbag covers carefully for tampering evidence. Run your fingers across dashboard seams, checking for wrinkles or uneven gaps. Fresh adhesive around steering wheel covers indicates recent opening. Mismatched panel colors or textures suggest replacement parts installed incorrectly. Accident history reports expose airbag deployment that was never repaired properly. Major crashes should show airbag replacement records. Missing documentation means deployed airbags got stuffed with foam instead of replaced with functional units. But safety compromises aren't limited to missing components. Sometimes the parts are there, but they're not what they appear to be. Sellers swap expensive original manufacturer parts for cheap knockoffs right before listing their cars. They pocket the difference while you inherit components that look identical but create safety risks. This practice targets high-value parts where the savings justify the deception risk. These substitutions destroy performance and safety in ways that surface months after purchase. Aftermarket brake pads reduce stopping power during emergency situations when you need maximum braking force. Cheap filters provide inadequate protection, allowing contaminants to damage engine intervals over time. Check part numbers against manufacturer specifications. Original equipment parts display unique codes that match your vehicle's make and model exactly. Aftermarket parts show different numbers or generic markings. Examine build quality closely. Original parts use precise manufacturing and premium materials. Knockoffs feel lighter, show rough edges, and lack proper fitment. Brake pads and filters get swapped most frequently. These components hide easily during casual inspections, but affect critical vehicle systems. Aftermarket modules can cost over $1,000 to replace when they fail prematurely. Aftermarket parts void existing warranties, leaving you responsible for repair costs. Safety suffers when substandard components can't handle emergency situations. Those apparent maintenance upgrades represent dangerous downgrades. Fresh parts don't guarantee quality parts. But discovering these deceptions requires time that many sellers refuse to provide. Sellers create artificial urgency designed to override your rational thinking. Claims about other interested buyers, limited time pricing, or pressure to decide immediately are manufactured tactics that exploit your fear of missing out on a good deal. Legitimate sellers welcome thorough inspections because they have nothing to hide. They understand that transparency builds trust and leads to satisfied customers. Scammers create obstacles, make excuses about time constraints, or provide reasons why detailed examinations aren't possible. A proper inspection requires adequate time for critical phases. The mechanical check and test drive reveal engine problems, transmission issues, handling defects, and unusual noises. Documentation review ensures paperwork accuracy and uncovers hidden history problems. Pressure tactics specifically target your psychological weakness around missing opportunities. Sellers manufacture false scarcity to force hasty decisions without proper consideration. They know that rushed buyers skip critical inspection steps that would reveal expensive problems. Any seller who refuses adequate inspection time is hiding something costly. Honest sellers understand that professional inspections protect both parties and build confidence in the transaction. When someone pushes you to bypass inspection procedures, that pressure itself reveals their deceptive intentions. If they rush you, step back. No inspection, no deal. But even when sellers allow inspections, they often demand payment methods that eliminate your legal protections entirely. Cash-only demands cut off your legal and fraud protection completely. Sellers who insist on cash are deliberately avoiding documentation that would expose their fraud or give you legal recourse when problems surface. They know that cash deals leave you completely defenseless. Legitimate sellers accept bank transfers and other traceable payment methods because they have nothing to hide. These payment options create documentation that protects both parties. Scammers refuse everything except cash because traceable payments can expose stolen vehicles, title washing, or tax evasion schemes. Cash transactions strip away your chargeback rights, bank involvement, and fraud protection. When you discover the car has undisclosed damage or missing parts, you can't dispute the charges or reverse the payment. You have no proof the transaction occurred, and no way to recover your money through financial institutions. Cash requirements typically indicate serious underlying problems. Stolen vehicles, salvage titles, and odometer fraud all require cash to avoid detection. Sellers use cash to evade taxes and prevent law enforcement from tracing transactions back to criminal activity. Cash demands appear alongside other warning signs. Remote meeting locations, missing paperwork, and pressure tactics work together to exploit vulnerable buyers. These sellers create urgency to prevent you from thinking clearly about the risks you're accepting. Demand traceable payment or walk away. But cash isn't the only way sellers hide their true identity and intentions. Meeting locations expose the seller's true identity instantly. Fake private sellers are actually unlicensed dealers operating illegal businesses from parking lots and remote locations. These curbstoners buy vehicles from auctions and wholesalers, then pose as individuals selling personal cars to avoid dealer licensing requirements and consumer protection laws. Legitimate private sellers invite you to their homes because they have nothing to hide. Curbstoners insist on parking lots, shopping centers, or isolated areas to conceal their commercial operations and avoid accountability. When someone refuses to provide a home address or suggests meeting in a remote location, they're hiding their true business nature. Identify curbstoners by watching for multiple vehicle listings under the same seller, evasiveness about vehicle history, and resistance to independent inspections. They sell high volumes of cars but lack the detailed knowledge private owners possess about their vehicles. Buying from a curbstoner means no warranty and no recourse when problems surface. You lose legal recourse because unlicensed dealers disappear after transactions complete. Licensed dealerships must provide consumer protections that curbstoners deliberately avoid. Home addresses create accountability. Parking lot meetings eliminate it. That meeting location choice reveals everything about what you're really buying and who you're buying it from. But location deception isn't the only way sellers create false impressions about their vehicles. Spotless interiors reveal expensive cover-ups that should terrify any smart buyer. When a vehicle shows 100,000 miles but the seats look showroom fresh, someone invested serious money to hide something expensive. Interior replacement costs thousands of dollars. Sellers don't make that investment out of generosity. Seat edges, wheel grip, pedal rub, real mileage shows up here. A car with 70,000 miles should show seat wear where drivers slide in and out. The steering wheel develops smooth spots where hands grip repeatedly. Pedal rubber wears down from constant pressure. Door handles show scratches from keys and fingernails. Check for replaced components that don't match surrounding areas. New seat covers over worn frames create uneven surfaces. Fresh carpet shows different pile height than original material. Examine steering wheel wrapping for loose edges or mismatched textures. Look for adhesive residue around dashboard panels that indicates recent work. Perfect interiors often hide odometer rollbacks where digital displays get reset but physical wear can't be erased. Commercial vehicles like rentals and delivery cars accumulate massive interior damage that replacement components mask completely. Flood cars frequently get total interior replacements to eliminate mold and water stains that create the musty odors sellers try desperately to mask. Artificial perfection creates expensive deception designed to transfer hidden problems directly to you. But pristine appearances aren't the only warning sign that should make you suspicious. Bargain prices on luxury models hide expensive problems that surface after purchase. Salvage title cars often sell $2,000 to $5,000 under market value because they've been declared total losses. When a premium vehicle sells for thousands below comparable listings, sellers aren't being generous. They're dumping problems onto unsuspecting buyers who focus on initial savings instead of long-term expenses. Use Kelley Blue Book or Edmunds to check comparable sales and establish fair market value for the specific make, model, and year. Understand depreciation patterns that affect different vehicle types. Premium vehicles priced significantly below market averages indicate serious underlying problems that justify the discount. Below market pricing is bait. Investigate why. Title problems like salvage or rebuilt status create desperate sellers who need quick sales. Hidden collision damage, mechanical failures, or stolen vehicle status forces immediate disposal. Odometer tampering makes high-mileage cars appear more valuable than actual condition warrants. Scammers create artificial urgency to prevent buyers from discovering expensive problems through proper inspection. The attractive price becomes manipulation that overrides common sense and thorough research. Every dollar saved up front costs $10 in hidden problems. Frame damage, transmission failures, and flood damage surface after purchase, turning bargains into financial disasters. But low prices aren't the only pattern that reveals problematic vehicles. Ownership records expose the most damaging secrets sellers desperately want buried. Vehicles that change hands multiple times within short periods signal hidden problems that previous owners couldn't tolerate. 3 owners in 2 years is a red flag that screams expensive mechanical nightmares lurking beneath the surface. Rapid ownership turnover reveals what sellers won't tell you about vehicle condition. Previous owners found electrical gremlins or structural damage that made keeping the car financially impossible. They passed these problems to the next buyer, creating a chain of financial losses that continues until someone gets stuck with unfixable issues. Research ownership history through title records and registration databases. These reports show owner count and can flag title washing schemes designed to hide the vehicle's true past. Multiple owners within 12 months indicates serious underlying issues that repairs can't solve permanently. Problem vehicles get passed between unsuspecting buyers who each discover the same costly defects. Each owner attempts to recover their investment by selling quickly to the next victim. Some cars are too problematic for anyone to keep long-term, cycling through desperate sellers who know exactly what they're hiding. That ownership pattern creates another dangerous situation where your money disappears before you discover what you've really purchased. Paperwork problems create the ultimate trap where your money vanishes permanently. Missing titles means sellers can't transfer ownership legally, leaving you with expensive metal you can't register or drive. Lien complications arise when outstanding loans give lenders claims on vehicles you thought you owned completely. Thousands of buyers discover title problems only after their money disappears forever. The legal nightmare begins when you try to register your new car and discover the paperwork doesn't exist or belongs to someone else. By then, the seller has vanished with your cash. Title washing schemes move cars across state lines to hide salvage history, making damaged vehicles appear clean. These fraudulent practices create legal disasters that destroy your financial future completely. You can't register the car, obtain insurance coverage, or prove legal ownership when problems surface. Verify the seller's name matches the title exactly, and run a lien search through state agencies to confirm no outstanding debts exist. Check that middle initials and spelling variations match perfectly. Any discrepancies indicate fraud or identity theft. Title problems make vehicles impossible to register or resell. Insurance companies refuse coverage without valid titles, leaving you exposed to massive liability. No title, no registration, no deal. But even when paperwork appears legitimate, sellers use visual deception techniques that make damaged vehicles look pristine in ways your eyes can't detect immediately. Online listings become weapons of mass deception when sellers master photo manipulation. Strategic angles and editing software hide collision damage, rust, and mechanical problems behind attractive images that fool experienced buyers into making expensive mistakes. Strategic cropping eliminates problematic areas from view completely. Wide-angle lenses distort perspective, making vehicles appear larger and more appealing than reality. Sellers adjust brightness and contrast to hide paint mismatches and body damage that would be obvious during personal inspection. Identify manipulated photos by examining lighting consistency across multiple images. Look for uneven reflections that indicate edited surfaces designed to mask imperfections. Missing angles reveal exactly what sellers don't want you to discover. Photos that appear overly vibrant or display unnatural shine suggest digital enhancement covering serious flaws. Demand additional photos from specific angles in natural daylight. Request images of the hood, doors, and undercarriage that listings typically omit entirely. Ask for close-up shots of any suspicious areas you notice in existing photos. Natural lighting exposes color variations and texture differences that indoor photography conceals. The most attractive online photos consistently hide the ugliest problems underneath. Perfect lighting and flawless composition don't happen accidentally during casual sales. They're designed to override your rational inspection instincts and create false confidence in problem vehicles. But visual deception isn't the only way sellers extract extra money from unsuspecting buyers. Financing arrangements become profit extraction schemes that add thousands to your purchase price without detection. Sellers present financing as helpful service while secretly maximizing profit from every percentage point they add to your interest rate. They're not providing convenience, they're manufacturing additional revenue from your loan. Dealers earn kickbacks per rate point. They profit when your rate climbs above what you actually qualify for. When you qualify for a 4% loan, the seller offers you 6% and pockets the difference. A 2% markup on a $20,000 loan generates thousands in additional dealer profit over the loan term. This incentive system encourages sellers to maximize your interest costs regardless of your creditworthiness or financial situation. Higher rates mean bigger kickbacks from lenders who reward dealers for inflating borrowing costs. Secure pre-approval from a credit union before visiting any seller. Banks and credit unions provide pre-approved loans that establish your maximum acceptable rate and create negotiating leverage. Compare their offer against seller financing to identify markup schemes instantly. Always compare APRs across different lenders to understand true borrowing costs. Financing pressure tactics work alongside vehicle sales manipulation to cloud your judgment. Sellers create urgency around limited-time financing offers that disappear if you delay decision-making. That financing convenience becomes expensive once you drive away. But the financial attacks don't stop there. Extended warranty offers arrive through phone calls and mail campaigns targeting recent buyers when anxiety about mechanical problems runs highest. Scammers know you're vulnerable to promises of protection, especially when those first strange noises start appearing weeks later. Fake warranty companies vanish the moment you file claims. When your transmission fails or engine problems surface, these companies disappear completely, leaving you with worthless paper and massive repair bills. Ask for the provider's state insurance license number and verify it through state insurance regulators. Legitimate warranty providers maintain proper licensing and show verifiable claim payment histories that prove they honor claims consistently. Scam operations avoid licensing requirements and provide no proof of financial backing to honor future claims. High-pressure tactics reveal fraudulent warranty offers instantly. Legitimate companies allow time for review and comparison shopping. Scammers demand immediate decisions and upfront payments before coverage begins. Vague coverage terms that avoid specific repair details indicate worthless protection. These scams specifically exploit used car buyers' deepest anxieties about reliability and unexpected costs. They promise comprehensive coverage while planning to deny every claim through technical loopholes and exclusions. If they pressure you to sign now, walk away. You deserve time to vet your coverage. But warranty scams aren't the only deception that targets your assumptions about proper vehicle care. Engine bays that shine like showrooms hide the most dangerous mechanical problems sellers want buried. When you pop that hood and see gleaming metal surfaces without a speck of grime, you're looking at deception disguised as care. Normal engines accumulate oil residue, dust, and natural buildup through regular operation. If it looks too clean, they're hiding leaks. Look for mineral deposits and residue they can't wash away. Pressure washing eliminates evidence of head gasket leaks, valve cover seepage, and coolant hose failures that would cost thousands to repair. Sellers spray away the stains and residue that reveal expensive problems brewing underneath. Once everything dries completely, even catastrophic leaks become invisible to casual inspection. Check for telltale signs hiding beneath the cosmetic cleaning. Look for mineral deposits around hose connections that washing can't eliminate. Feel along gasket edges for sticky residue that indicates recent seepage. Examine unpainted bolt heads and crevices where cleaning agents can't reach completely. Engine bay detailing creates false impressions about maintenance quality and mechanical reliability. Sellers invest in professional cleaning to mask neglect and defer expensive repairs onto future owners. The shinier the bay appears, the more suspicious you should become about underlying condition. A bit of dirt is a sign of honest use. But even with all these warning signs exposed, the deception runs much deeper than most buyers realize. These 20 red flags protect you from financial disasters that destroy savings and ruin credit for years. Share this information with everyone you know who might buy a used car. Your knowledge could save friends and family from financial disasters that take years to recover from. If these tips helped protect your next purchase, hit that like button and subscribe for more money-saving advice.